We're here at IntelliSys 2024, and I'm here with Dr. Jackie Campbell. Welcome.
Hi.
So can you tell me a bit about yourself, your background?
Well, at the moment, I'm course director at Leeds Beckett University for our data science with our AI, artificial intelligence. And so I like to come to these conferences so that I can hear all the interesting things that are going on and use them to inform the curriculum, the stories, motivate the students. So my background is that I started working with data a long time ago. So I feel that I'm a data expert. I've been a developer. I've developed database systems. I've done data analytics, data warehousing, and then a bit of everything. Data's the theme through it all. And so now I love that I'm leading the data science courses and motivating the people of the future to take that forward.
It makes perfect sense.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay, and then you're here with a paper as well.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Well, my paper is drawing on my work at the university in that role. And one of the issues in technology and with data is the bias, but also the design understanding. You know, we've seen the ripple effect of some technology. So, for example, the swipe, which was initially designed so that you could search and highlight what you wanted. And it's been adopted as something to keep us hooked and the consequences of that. So we really need our data scientists and AI experts of the future to include this in their design so that they're able to think about the consequences, think about the society of the future, to understand the tools that are available, the governance, but also to have those skills to challenge and understand the design. So we've put together a module at Leeds Beckett which does all of this.
Okay.
And alongside that, we've worked with our EDI team there so that our students also understand their own personal bias and the consequences of that. They understand that inclusive teams do better and they understand how to be an ally in the workforce and start practicing that whilst they're there at university.
Okay, so you built an actual tool, is that correct?
No, not an actual tool, a module to empower students to use the tools that are available, to understand what's available and what can be used and the conversations they can have and be able to do that.
And is the module used in real life right
Yes, we've been running it for a few years. The students love it.
Oh, that's good.
Because from a teaching and learning perspective, what you want is for young people who've chosen to study these amazing subjects to come and to immediately get in there and start thinking. You know, that's what we want with them to be thinking. So it's really easy to start thinking about the ethics of AI.
But it almost sounds too easy. There must have been hurdles or difficulties during your research, right?
There's hurdles, of course. I mean, I think in the research, actually getting proper evaluation was quite difficult. We found that I think people confuse what we're trying to do, building, inclusive and non-biased design. They confused it with ethics and morals.
Okay.
And whilst that's relevant, actually, that's only a small part of it. So in the evaluation, we found that people were sort of, trying to prove that they were moral. And that wasn't what we were looking for. We were looking to see, can you think critically about how this design could be used elsewhere for good and for bad?
Yeah. Do you feel good about yourself?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, makes sense. I'm going to ask you a few rapid-fire questions, if that's okay. AI, hype or reality?
Oh, well, both, obviously. Absolutely both.
Which industry will be most transformed in, say, the upcoming 5 years or so by AI?
I don't know, but do you know what? The industry I want to be most transformed is I want community mental health. I think the young people are overwhelmed by perhaps being over-informed on the modern problems of now. So we should be able to use AI to help people to connect, but also to help with those huge problems that we do have
instead of
at
keeping
the
them
moment.
longer on the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Can machines truly be creative?
I think they can, but they need to be taught to be creative.
Which AI breakthrough has had the biggest impact on your field?
The AI breakthrough that literally we came in one day and went, this is a disruptor, was ChatGPT, or for students using it with their work. But again, what we've done is we've totally embraced that. So I've run workshops with my students where we sit down and we play around and we co-learn on the AI so that they can see where they can't trust it. And I understand where they're concerned about the AI. So they are concerned that they are cheating and they're going to get caught out by that.
Once again, it's the moral side.
Yes. When they go for an interview, somebody's going to be sort of, well, why can't you do this? And so using it appropriately and, again, being able to sort of build it for the future.
Makes sense. Is there a book or a resource you'd recommend to people who are interested in AI?
No, not one, but there are a few.
Do you have a few?
I'm not sure I have them all off the top of my head, but they're all in my papers. So, I mean, I definitely think that starting with things like Technology is Not Neutral by Stephanie Hare, Invisible Women by Criado Perez. There's a compilation of papers by Marie Hicks that is really good, and there are some lovely books on data ethics. David Martins has one of those that I really enjoy.
Thank you so much.
I have a reading list.
Okay. Can people find that reading list somewhere?
Well, most of them will be included in my papers, and this isn't the only paper.
Check the paper out.
Most of my papers are in this area, but my paper it's really useful for practitioners or industry wanting to create these conversations, because there's plenty of material for workshops in this area, which obviously education and universities would appreciate.
What's one question you wish people asked more about AI?
Well, possibly can we trust AI? But I think that one of the questions that I would like to be asked more, and I am asked a lot, is really how we can get women into technology. And I think that actually the AI is going a long way towards that, because it brings in the sociology, the philosophy, this kind of thinking, and we are seeing more women coming into it now. So perhaps this is the breakthrough we need.
A bit more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the conference been so far?
Conference has been absolutely great. And, you know, I sometimes feel when I'm talking about these things that I'm being a little bit sort of preachy and judgy. But the reality is that I've met so many people here who are also talking about this in their papers, and are also really keen to know and understand more. So
you found some like-minded people.
Without any need at all, lots of like-minded people. So that's really good to see how well that's been included. And also it's good to see so many younger PhD students who are thinking about this as well. So again, that's positive. The conference highlight perhaps was the cruise. That was really enjoyable. Really enjoyable to just sort of sit with colleagues and chat about all these things that we love to chat about, and watch Amsterdam go by on a beautiful evening.
Thank you so much for your time, and please enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.